Would you like to see a comparison between a pre-cap commission check at EXP Realty versus what that same check would look like at EPIQUE Realty? If the answer is yes, you're in the right place. Let's chat. Hi, I'm Mike Cerrone with The Curious Agent, and I'd like to share with you today some things I kind of started playing around with, which was to compare and contrast and look at what a commission check, a pre-cap commission check, so like what you would receive on your very first closing between two different companies. And I did that between EXP Realty and EPIQUE Realty because they're very similar models. And my question I had was, hey, how would this turn out? Would you receive more with one or the other? And I kind of want to figure it out. And so I just started to run some numbers. I'm going to share those numbers with you in just a second on a spreadsheet. I just want to make a quick disclaimer that you should do your own research and make sure that the numbers that I'm showing you are correct. I think they're right, but I could be off by something. I could have missed something. By the way, if you see anything that looks wrong, go ahead and put it in the comments below so I can adjust my chart. But it was really impressive to me. I did not expect to get the result that I did. Let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to show you the spreadsheet, and you can make up your own mind. Okay, so here's this spreadsheet that I went ahead and threw together to try to get an idea of what the two checks would look like that you receive. I want to make clear what we're talking about. We're talking about a pre-cap commission check and what the comparison would be between two companies, in this case, EPIQUE Realty and EXP Realty, and we'll go side by side so you can get a feeling for what you would come out of your first closing with if you were to join one of these companies all the way up to your cap. And again, I think that this is correct. If you see anything off, please let me know. Put it down in the comments below. But I think we're on here, so let's check this out. First of all, I'll also point out that I'll make a quick disclosure. All these figures are estimates and not guarantees. Do your own research and calculations before you make any decision, and you should obviously do a lot of due diligence before you make a decision to join a company. Now, I went ahead and started with a sales price of $400,000. That's about the median sales price around the country right now for a house. And I just picked a commission. Commissions are completely negotiable, as you know. They're all over the place. I don't know if you're working the buy side, the sell side. I don't know what you charge. I don't know whether you charge $3 or $3 million or a percentage. I just picked a percentage out of thin air. I ended up with 2.5. My model, you can use 2.0, you can use 4.0, you can use 1.0. I just picked 2.5 because it makes the math really simple. And the numbers kind of are easier to look at. But whatever your commission check is, that's awesome. When you do this, the commission check turns out to be $10,000. That's your GCI, your gross commission income. And then from that, the company is going to take out a split. And there's splits with both these companies. EPIQUE is a 15% split that goes to the company and 85% goes to the agent. So we're going to take 15% out, or $1,500. That's what's going on there. And then over at EXP, they take 20% and pay out 80% to their agents. And so the company is going to take $2,000 there. We'll go down to the next line, the franchise fees. Luckily, neither one of these companies charges a franchise fee, but if you happen to be, or you're looking at a company that does have a franchise fee, be sure to put that in your calculation because that affects how much money you walk home with. But in this case, there's zero franchise fee, 0% for each. And so we'll go to the next item, which is a transaction fee. EPIQUE Realty has a 0.1% transaction fee with a cap of $500. So in this case, if we look at the $400,000 price, well, we drop off the last three zeros. And so the fee is $400, and that's under $500. So that's going to be the actual fee. And so that's what the number is there. EXP does not have a transaction fee. So we put 0 there and 0 there. EXP does charge for errors and omissions, though. And so on this next line, errors and omissions is included already in the transaction fee for EPIQUE. So it's 0 on this line. It's not a separate item. For EXP, that's where they're going to charge per closing. They're going to charge $60 for errors and omissions, or your risk management fee. Broker fee, or broker review fee, EPIQUE doesn't charge one. EXP does. And so EXP charges $25 per closing on that one. So what we do is we go ahead and we add up all the numbers. And when we get the total number for EPIQUE would be $1,900 would go to the company, and $2,085 would go to EXP. And the result would be that at EPIQUE, you would get a check for $8,100. And at EXP, you get a check of $79.15, which are both very close. But in this case, if we do the math, then the difference is $185. You would get $885 more if you are at EPIQUE. So that's how this spreadsheet works. I don't know what your price range is or what commission rate you're charging, and it may be different on each deal. But I'll go ahead and just run some quick numbers, just leaving this commission rate alone because I don't know what you're going to charge. But I'll change the sales price to maybe be different in your area. Let's say you're in an area where the sales price is $200,000. Let's look at what the difference would be. So we put 200, 1, 2, 3, and it runs the numbers for us. And in that case, running all the math all the way through, the result is $135 more at EPIQUE if you were to have a price of $200,000. All right, so let's go up here. Let's say instead of 200, we had a price of 600,000. Maybe that's the average or the median in your area, or what the folks that you're helping. And so if it's a 600,000 price now, the difference in the net take home on that check would be $335 more over at EPIQUE. Let's say you've got a really high-end property. Let's say you do $1 million, just for fun here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and boom. At $1 million, you take home about $835 more at EPIQUE. And I don't know, maybe you've got a really high end. To me, it seems like the number's getting pretty big, but let's try 3 million. I don't know where you are, but let's say it's 3 million. Then we got a $3,335 difference. I'm going to go back to that median price of 400,000 because I want to show you one more thing. At 400,000 and on all the particulars and the givens that we have in here, against $185 difference. And that's for every single closing. So that does add up over time. That's pretty cool. It's every closing under the cap. And I did some research, by the way, to try to figure out if that's significant. And in my area, I'm in Metro Denver, and I was able to look at the stats for our area over the course of a year for agents in our MLS. And about 75% of the agents are under cap each year, and only about 25% of the agents are over cap. So these numbers will apply to most agents for most of their closings. I also was able to look at a couple other areas around the country, and in those areas, it was actually 85% of the agents were under cap, and only about 15% got above cap. So I think that this is a real significant number for most agents about what you would take home in your pay. Now, I wanted to just look at one other thing because EPIQUE has an interesting model where they give a lot of benefits to agents to help them out. I didn't want to show all the benefits because it becomes a crazy number, but I wanted to show some benefits that immediately and directly affect this paycheck number. So let me show you that. I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. And again, this is where we saw the difference, but now I'm going to add in some perks that you get at EPIQUE that you may not receive at other companies. For example, a real huge one is that EPIQUE provides a transaction coordinator for every agent for every transaction. Pretty cool stuff. And so what that is it depends on how much you've been charged to have a transaction coordinator, how much you've been paying. I've heard $300, $400, $500 per closing. So I just took the middle number, which was 400. And if we do that on a buy-side transaction, for instance, at this price, and I'll just go back up real fast, it was a $400,000 price, a $10,000 commission. The difference here was $185 more that you were taking home at, I'll make that a little cleaner to see, $185 more that you're getting at EPIQUE just off that. But once we add the benefit of the transaction coordinator, say on your buyer side deal, that brings that up to $585 more, almost $600 more in benefit that you immediately get, which is pretty cool. Now, on the sell side, we also have additional benefits. So when you go out and take a listing, the company EPIQUE will provide listing photos interior and exterior. They'll send out a professional photographer to take those. And in my area, that'd be a value of about $250. Your area may be higher or lower, but I'm going to add that in. And then for listings, we also, our company, EPIQUE, provide the yard sign. So the yard sign is purchased by the company, it's stored by the company, it's installed at the property and removed, all paid for by EPIQUE, which is pretty incredible. I don't know the true value of all of that. It's kind of hard to figure out, but I only put 50 bucks. I figure you buy a sign, it's at least $50. And then that installation service and removal and storage is at least 25 bucks. Plus they charge if they're holding it per month. So it was kind of hard to get a number on that. So I just tried to take the conservative number and said $50. Also at EPIQUE, they do a social media campaign, which is pretty amazing for your listing. You get the listing, they're going to do some ads for you to push that out through social media channels. And they're going to pay for up to 7 of those promotions. They're going to do it each time an event occurs. For instance, when you first take the listing, if you have any price reductions, if you have any open houses, when it goes under contract, they have all these little series where you can request, and they'll go ahead and do an ad for you. And if any leads come in off those ads, they go back into you on the CRM, which is pretty snazzy. Anyway, they pay for that. And I figure that's probably at least $100 in fees that you would pay to, say, Facebook or Instagram. They're together, or Google ads, or wherever they're pushing this out to on that particular day. And because they're doing it 7 times, I think that's a pretty reasonable number. And then we've got something that's pretty cool they've got in the works and is going to be out within the next couple months, and that is a free listing billboard ad. So they've got, the company EPIQUE is taken, I believe it's 65,000 billboards that they can put our agents out on around the country. So they're going to find one in your local area, and you can go ahead, when you're an EPIQUE agent, you can request that they put your property or listing out there, and it's being advertised on a digital billboard on the side of the highway. So it's up in lights, looks really cool. It's going to be a picture of the house, a little bit of detail like beds and baths, and then your contact information for them to call you. Those things can get really expensive for a billboard ad. So I don't know what the cost is, and I just tried to lowball the number. I think it would be worth at least about $100. If we add all those up, the transaction coordinator, the listing photos, listing yard sign, listing social media, and listing billboard ad, I get an estimate about $900. And so if we add that to the $185 that you were receiving, it's really a benefit of about $1,085. So instead of you putting that money out to get all those things done for your seller, you would be able to keep that money in your pocket. Anyway, I think that might be an interesting comparison for you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Just go ahead and write a comment down below if you agree with me, you disagree with me. If you think this was valuable anyway, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to hear more information about this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Love to bring you along and share more information like this. One final thing, if you'd like to chat with me about coming over to EPIQUE and you're trying to figure out if it's a good choice or not, I'd be happy to chat with you. And down in the comment section, there's a little link. I think it says meet with Mike or something along those lines. If you just click that, you can get on my calendar and a little Zoom call, and we'll just do a little dialogue back and forth, and we'll find out if this is a good move for you or not. I'll be straight up and honest with you and tell you what's going on. But I'd love to chat with you if you have any interest in this and you're kind of curious about what's going on. Again, it was fun chatting with you today. Hope you have a fantastic day. Keep moving forward. Bye for now.